Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. Today we're working on the 2004 Trailblazer. This should work for Rainier and Envoy also. So I just did the shocks. I have a video that will follow this one and it'll be linked down below if you just need to change your shocks. But we have kind of like just a thunk going over some bumps. Usually when it's a straight line crack in the road and you're crossing it, perpendicular to that, it just kind of has like this shutter. All the remaining bushings back here, this has a lot of sway bar pieces and whatnot. Those all look pretty good, so I don't feel anything, nothing crazy going with the axle, no playing that. So these are a cheap part. I'm gonna link them on Amazon. They're like 20 bucks. I'll link them and you can check them out. These are gonna be serviceable ones, so they'll have grease zerks on them. So make sure you have grease to put in them. The OEM ones do not have grease zerks. So we're on the driver's side right here. This is the sway bar length. Almost every forum said that if they heard a thunk that they swapped out these and the thunk went away. Again, it's not big, it's not obtrusive, it's not necessarily dangerous. While I was back here, this gentleman, even though it was low mileage, he did pull a trailer with that, so I put on a little bit more robust shock over the OEM one. So first things first, you can get the wheel off. You can try and do this with the wheel on. It doesn't sound fun to me, so the wheel's off. And we're gonna go ahead and get this. This is an 18 millimeter here. We're gonna get it broke loose, and then there's an Allen head in here, which I will tell you what that size here is in a minute, because this will start spinning. And then we're gonna pop these out and get the new ones in. All right, so it's gonna be an 8 millimeter Allen head. If you don't have T-handles, you can use one of the old school ones. And once you do that, you can hold this and turn this out. And as you can see, we're not going to need any type of prying equipment to pop these bad boys out. Now the back one's going to be a little bit more of a pickle to get into, so a T-handle is most likely not going to fit back there, so we're going to have to use an old school L-shaped one, or if you have a socket one that can go in there, you can definitely do it that way. So let's get this pulled off. All right, guys, so if you got out your 8 and you didn't realize why it fits, because I can't read this, it's all mashed from years of using it. Anyway, it is a 6 hex. Now, I found it easiest to be underneath this bad boy, and I've got these tips off the Zon for 1/4 inch and for 3/8, and the bigger ones are for half. It comes in a metric set for 6 to whatever. You need this. This is gangster. So I basically put this in the end under there, locked it against the frame, use a box-ended wrench to get that other thing off. Did have to use some WD-40 on it. My brake free gave out, half can, stopped spraying. So now we're ready to pull this bad boy out. Now, if you got them off Zon and you don't remember, or you unboxed them, there is allegedly a passenger and driver side. So remember the orientation of the current one you're taking out. Do one side at a time. So now we're ready to pull this bad boy out. All right, so we got the old one out. We can see right here, the rubber bushing pads are basically cracked and destroyed just from age. You'll want to remember which one's the top, which one's the bottom. And you can see that this one doesn't have a washer on it. This was on the back side here at the bottom. Now to pull it out, you can move this around, pull the top out first, and then just wiggle it out and about. So this might have been, I mean, these things are pretty floppy. So let's check out the new ones. All right, so we can see on this, I mean, this is just a hollow piece of tubing. This one's a composite material. This one is steel. Again, we have no backing nut here. We have a washer. Instead, here we have a bolt, so that's not a big deal. We have a new bolt on the back side, and this is where we're gonna grab as we tighten it down when we come back. One on each side, so we don't have to worry about that specialty tool. We can see the orientation is right. Now, if we look at these bad boys, much stiffer. Of course, they are brand new. We do have our grease zerks and our washer here. So my guess is that this washer here is going to go up here. There's going to be no instructions on there, so we're going to put the grease zerk on and get these bad boys filled up with some lubrication. All right, so we got these in here. If you are going to get maintenanceable ones, guys, make sure you have a grease gun, the messy ass grease guns. And then this one's a little bit different. We have the backing 18s on the back side and this. So again, just wiggle it in, fill these up here. There was already some lube in there, so you're probably good. But I just went ahead and gave it a couple squirts and then get it in here, torque these down. I think they're supposed to be 45. I just get them hella tight because they were already hella tight. I don't really think you can jack it up by over tightening it, but we got them in there. Again, it's a little bit of a pickle over here because the gas tank's right there. We're going to probably incorporate that or find that on the other side too. So at the end of this video, I will tell you if this actually got rid of that sound that I thought I was hearing. Again, on all of the forums that I looked into, really it said check all the bushings. Everything looked good, but these sway bar links, I could actually wiggle them pretty bad with my hands. I could see all the cracking on those rubber boots. So my guess is they were just loose enough that was causing that. But we're going to go ahead and put it back on. I got a video for the shocks. All of this stuff will link down below on the Zon. Again, at the local auto parts store, you're going to pay about $60 a piece. And on the Zon, you're going to pay about 25 bucks for the set. So you can decide that for yourself. Again, I don't think most of this stuff's actually made in the US anyway. So yeah, let's see. This one's made in Mexico. So whatever. Those Monroe shocks, I think that's what I put on there. I don't know if they're made in the US either. So again, that's how you do both sides. Again, linkable videos will be in both. So the shock video will have the sway bar link. And again, much more than that, guys. You're going to need a lot more tools. But other than that, I will link this cool little tool that I have that goes on the end of the 1/4 inch socket wrench. And that is it. So now I'm going to go bang out the other side. But you saw my ugly mug enough. I'll catch you on the next one.